Lateral deviation or excessive side bending and extension in the throw is something we see all the time. Today we want to talk about what are some potential causative factors or contributing factors for that, and then what we can kind of do to improve that if that's what you do in the throw. Welcome back to Overhead Athletics. I'm Max Wardell, director at the OAI, and what we're going to talk about today is what to do if you end up way side bent. We've all seen that picture where they're side bent way to the side. Their ball comes way over the top, and it's because they've side bent excessively through their lumbar and thoracic, low thoracic spine. So you've seen this thrower a lot, and they typically do one of those numbers. This happens in our youth athletes all the time. We see this in college athletes. I saw a high school athlete today that's a very, very good baseball player. Neat side bends and extends. What is that doing to your throw? Well, if I lose the ability to control my torso and control my posture and I side bend, I've excessively shortened my internal and external obliques on my glove side. I've lengthened my internal and external obliques on my throwing side, and what happens is, similar to the biceps, I'm not very strong here when my elbow's near extension. I'm not very strong here when it's all the way bent. I'm most strong in mid-range. Generally, that's where muscles are their strongest, and especially so with the core muscles, because they can produce a ton of force in their mid-range, their mid-position, but when you deviate outside of that and they're lengthened or shortened, they can produce very little force relative to what they can produce in their mid-length position. So we want to influence the core to maintain a position which is called a proper length-tension relationship, where the muscles that are proper length to generate tension. So what that means is I'm no more than maybe 15 to 20 degrees side bent when I release the ball. So I can do a few things to influence that. The first one is I can start flexed forward. Very simple. So now I have to make a throw from there without leaning back. One more time. I'm flexed forward. I'll show you from the side here. I'm excessively bent forward. If I'm here, it's very hard for me to end up all the way back there. And I do it at 50%, 40%, whatever I'm throwing right now, and then I increase my speed. So now I've done this. Maybe that was enough to teach your body where it's supposed to be, maybe not. Now maybe you need to start an extension, start in the position of fault, go to a more optimal position. So I can start here, leaned back, I flex and throw. One more time. Start an extension, flex, and this goes for my position players, my pitchers, whatever. So now I've done two ways. And there's a ton of different things that we'll use to teach this. So now I've done those two things. Maybe I start with a little hop. So if I'm a position player, maybe I won't lift my leg so high. If I'm a pitcher, maybe I just do hop, hop, throw. And so why that's important is because I can't land in this extended position. I'll fall back. I won't be able to make a successful throw. It forces me to flex. I'm doing all these because I just worked with an athlete today who had these deficiencies in his throw, and these are all things that we tried. Some worked, some didn't. Some will work for you, and some won't work for you. So one more time, just a hop, hop, and go. So now I've influenced it by pre-positioning, by posture. I've influenced it through momentum and gravity, and I've influenced it through momentum and gravity, bottom up, right, landing. Then I can do so top down. So what I typically see with these athletes, they pull their arm out and around. Now there's a lot of different ways. I could slap a cuff weight on here. So now I influence momentum top down. Action, reaction. When I see Gary Gray, who is a physical therapist, movement specialist, do a video on scoliosis, and he's influencing the movement top down, the scoliosis curve, the spinal curvature from the top down and the bottom up. We do the same thing in the throwing motion. So now a 2-pound, a 3-pound little medicine ball increases my momentum this way. If I deviate way off to the side, this thing is going to pull me really hard down and away. So now I'm not able to let myself get pulled that way. Because if I do, it'll pull me way too far and I'll feel, whoa, I'm too far that way. Let me auto correct and get back to where I'm supposed to. So there's 4 different ways. Pre-position in the position of fault, pre-position away from the position of fault, use momentum and speed through the lower body, use some momentum through the upper body, through the glove arm with a little medicine ball to now teach yourself that, hey, I can't end up in this position. It's not a strong position, not a stable position. If I end up in an unstable position, I will not throw as hard. So there's 4 different techniques that you can use to improve your throwing motion. Go ahead, get after it. But before you do, make sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.